pristine mode, and they kind of shook the boat and created something new. And this idea that tradition is something that you have to gravitate towards and stay there. For example, Froogh, she ended up completely writing in a free-form, abstract way towards the end of her writing, which is the most interesting part of her writing. But she could any day write a ghazal. I work with a poem by Froogh called Osyan Khuda, Rebellious God. It's truly like a medieval poem. I still can't believe she wrote that poem. Multiple pages, completely like the metaphors, the language, this notion of rhyming. So this idea of modernity and traditionalism in an ancient culture, I mean, one can write a book about that because it's so interesting to talk about it.
Books have been written about that, yeah.
So interesting to talk about it, but you have to contextualize because you make a lot of people upset as soon as you talk about, oh, you mean you want to westernize or homogenize the culture and we're all going to become the same, the globe is going to become, no, not at all, not at all. I mean, I think Japan is a really good example of, in the 70s, what they did with their incredible tradition, their incredible tapestry of tradition, and modernizing it at the same time, and entering the global sensibility and culture.
I mean, one of the we have to wrap up soon, so I have one more question for you, Sousan. But it is interesting to me that these films are now restored, and hopefully they'll get to play more because it does feel like maybe a missing piece of Iranian cinema has now been put back into the puzzle, and it's a turning point. It's a turning point from a traditional industry to something more modern that's embracing European art cinema and other sorts of influences, but within a very Iranian context. So I think these two films will get more play around the world and really help us complete a sort of contemporary picture. So we've talked a little bit about influence, the fear of influence. Let's just use the word inspiration. The 4 installation pieces that we showed here were part of a much larger work, the House is Black project, that very much foregrounds for Farrokhzad as an influence or at least an inspiration for you. Can you talk a bit about the larger piece, the House is Black project, and the exhibition Dawn of the Cold Season, and how you've, what's the right word for it? Built on, evolved from, Farouk's work, yeah.
I have to be very fast because I want everybody to have fresh eyes for Ibrahim Gulstan's film. I'm so happy to see this film. Fast forward from my teens that I was completely in love with Frough. I left Iran in 1976 and then 1979 to New York. Revolution happened and we just never went back. So 10 years ago I moved to LA and suddenly I work in film, so I was composing some vocal music for Hollywood film. So I arrived here and I realized that there are close to 1 million Iranians in this city. And I'm completely culture shocked, and yet there's this incredible alchemy of your own blood, your own culture. And I really wanted to connect with the community, but I'm out of practice with what that means and in terms of, maybe you come in and do some kind of a 1970s nostalgic concert based on whatever it is, millions of people show up, but something that it raises us together, both of us, me as an artist, bringing my work and my experience to my community, and the community who has not seen something that is a multimedia stage production, abstract-minded, the whole thing that I really have studied in New York, and I've been surrounded by people who created that kind of art form. So we went to the Farhang Foundation and said, knock, knock, nobody else is going to care about this. Could you help me? And they did, and then I met Christy Edmonds, some very, very interesting visionary curators, and we created this piece around Frough's life and work. But I think Frough's work is synergistic, 1 foot in visuals, 1 foot in poetry, 1 foot in social content, political content. So we had to create an art form that was an extension of her sensibilities and the synergy of work that she did. I was a ballet dancer in Iran, and then I was an actor, then I was a multimedia person, I'm a composer, and it just felt like this is a really great meeting point between Frough and I to bring these different mediums on stage to express who she really was, and also to express who I am at this point in time, and create a package that included both our journeys, and in a way that was, and it's very challenging to do a poetic journey on a life of a poet. It took 4 years, and we finally did the piece. So we could say that this was like a conceptual opera because all the music is original music that I composed with my partner Richard Horowitz, who's there. He's here tonight. And the visuals, the whole piece is like a tapestry of woven from visual component back to a theatrical component, back to musical composition. So it's very difficult. I should have probably chosen like 2 to 3 minutes of the visuals of the show and showed you the context, a trailer for my performance. So it's just a New York avant-garde coming to LA.
Well, the films themselves are beautiful, so thank you for sharing that with us. It's been a huge privilege and honor for me to work with both of you over the last several months and to share the stage with you. Really, thank you so much for all of your time.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah. So we're going to take a 10-minute intermission.